What's up everybody, welcome back to How It's Done. We just got finished installing this RO filter for a client of mine, but the only plug down here is the plug for the garbage disposal that's controlled by the switch on the countertop. So we're going to be adding an air switch for the garbage disposal so that this plug can remain on 24/7. So it's a pretty simple setup here. Basically a push button, the air hose gets connected to the bottom, and then you've got the part that plugs in. One side of the plug will be constantly hot, the other side is controlled by the air switch, and then you just have to drill a hole in the countertop. I've got my little hole saw, diamond hole saw bit here, and what I'm going to use is the insert from inside to figure out exactly what size I want to get. I'll leave a link to this in the description below. But basically, you can also use this as a guide for your drill bit when you're initially starting out etching the granite countertop. So all you want to do is add a little bit of water inside there so that you don't overheat your bit. And you're only going to get this started once it's etched, maybe 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch deep. You can go ahead and remove this and so once the hole is cut in the countertop, it's time to install the push button. I have found it's easiest to add the air hose to the bottom of it first, and then just feed the air hose through the hole, and make sure that you've got the rubber gasket on the bottom of the push button first, so that it's going to create a good seal on your countertop. It does have a couple different trim rings you can use for this. You can get different finishes. It only comes with one. You can purchase them different styles, but you can order different ones online if you ever change your kitchen hardware and decide to go with like a matte black, but you had a satin steel type finish or whatever. You can pop them off and change them out. So once you've got this through there, you're going to go ahead and just slide the lock ring up, tighten it into place, and you're good to go. And that brings us to the final step, which should be the easiest, and it will be for most people. However, since I'm holding a camera in one hand, it proved to be a little bit more challenging than it really should be, and that's plugging it in. So first I'm going to plug the box in, because like I said, one side is going to have constant power, the other side is going to be controlled by the air switch. So I just plug in one, and it turns out that's the one that has constant power, so I plug it into the other, and it's controlled by the air switch because it's not on right now. And I have not hooked up the air hose yet. I want to make sure that it's not accidentally turned on by the air switch before getting this plugged in. So we get it plugged in, and last we'll need to do is just push this air hose onto the end here, and then we'll test out the switch. So we'll go ahead and turn the water on, lift the hand off, and great. Thanks for joining us again today on How It's Done. I will include links for this air switch as well as the drill bit set in the description.